having coffee with Shelby Westfeldt. This is going to be a very like in-depth, deep, like real deep, coffee episode. I think much more so than maybe any other episode, because Shelby is the person I buy a lot of my raw coffee from.
Yeah.
So and I'm going to give everybody a quick background. So the way this works is I buy raw coffee, and then we take raw coffee and we roast it, and then we brew it here. So we do all of our own roasting and all of our own we have our own coffee shops here. But of course, like, the raw coffee has to come from somewhere, and Shelby is the one to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've been doing business together now, I think almost over 10 years, almost 10 years.
Yes, we
for
have
a really long time.
I've been buying coffee from Shelby for like 10 years.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Sure, absolutely. One of the things that like is so interesting to me is your family has been importing coffee. So this is what you do. You take coffee from Guatemala, Central America, whatever, and or all over the world really, and import it into
America.
America.
United States, New Orleans mostly. But we do keep coffee all over. But New Orleans, we've been doing this since 1851. So
you've been importing coffee into New Orleans.
Not me personally.
Not you personally. Your
family.
Your great-great-great-grandfather?
Yes.
Your great-great-great-grandfather has been importing coffee into New Orleans started importing coffee into New Orleans 165 years ago.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible.
It really is. It's it's a fun thing to be a part of. But we're in New Orleans. We moved here from Sweden, and we came to New Orleans because it was a very big port city. It still is, at the time, and coffee was one of the biggest imports, and that's how we kind of got into it because of where we located and coffee being such a big deal in New Orleans, and it still is to this day.
It still is. So coffee, coffee's imported through the port of New Orleans, right there in the docks, and it comes out. Like, how much coffee comes through New Orleans? Do you know that? How much do you bring in through? It's still a major
there's
importer.
millions of pounds that come in.
Millions and millions of pounds. That's perfect. For our purposes here, millions and millions of pounds.
We have used to be the #2 port city, and New York is the #1 port city now. But it's certified stocks and uncertified stocks, so it's different numbers depending on which stocks you're talking about. But coffee is huge. There's a lot of coffee stored in New Orleans, and that's where all your coffee comes from.
From here. Yes. I buy everything from here. I go pick it up.
It comes from other countries.
Oh, it comes from all over the world, but I go pick it up right here in New Orleans. We go look at the sacks and pick them up, and we can drive over there and take a look at them and see which ones we want, which is really cool, and I really think gives me an advantage, because I can go say, I don't want that sack, I don't want this sack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
Get to see it.
And we're going to get into this in just a second, but this is such a historic moment on Coffee with Kevin. I feel like I have to be prim and proper but this is the very first time I've had a Queen of Carnival.
Wow.
Yes, Shelby was.
I'm the first one?
You're the first Carnival royalty.
Well, I'll have to bring that up at the luncheon. I can get you a bunch of them. That's really cool. Yeah,
that's a neat thing. So you're from here?
Yeah, from here, born and raised.
If you don't want to give the date that you were Queen of Carnival, that's fine.
As old as I am. I was 2003.
2003.
Still very fresh in my mind. It was such a fun day.
Yeah.
But yeah, born and raised in New Orleans. Mardi Gras has always been a huge part of my family's life.
And where'd you go to high school?
Went to St. Martin's.
St. Martin's?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, and just,
because that's one of the things I was told. I'm like, when you have a guest from New
Orleans,
find
out
where'd you go to high school.
If I'm anywhere in the world and I meet someone from New Orleans, the first question I ask is, where'd you go to high school?
Yeah, too funny.
So, St. Martin's, and Mardi Gras, basically everything New Orleans. I'm born and raised here. My family's been here, obviously, for several generations, and we love it.
Clearly several generations.
We love it.
Since you've been working in the same industry for 165 years. So crazy. So, okay, so we're going to get into the actual coffees, and I'm making sure my little pot here is kicking on, so I think we're good. Because we're going to need some hot water for this. This is what we do in order to, and I'll head down to your offices downtown, and we cup coffee. So this is going to be kind of interesting to do here on the show. But so you brought, and when I say cup coffees, we're looking for deficiencies. We're looking for something that, okay, that's something, wow, this is great, or wow, this is terrible, or we're really doing a process here, like almost like a wine tasting, but this is the actual like process.
Yeah, you're trying to get the taste profile, you're trying to make sure it roasts up well, you know, you want to make sure what you're buying is what, you know, what you're tasting,
what we're tasting,
you know?
Right. And so let me, all right, so we've got the water rolling here, and I guess I'll do this since you're our honored guest. I will brew. So what we're doing is we're actually, you know, we're going to like slurp this coffee. You want to tell us about exactly what's going to happen here?
So this is not how, you know, we would drink coffee normally. Normally you would brew it and it would come through, you know, a drip or whatever. But so we're just pouring it straight on top of the grounds because we are strictly trying to taste what, you know, what coffee we have in front of us, and we're going to be spitting it out, not even drinking it.
Oh, the spitting it out is going to be the real, like, super fun
we get
part.
to spit on camera. So first of all, what we'll do is...
So you brought two different coffees here. Why? What's the deal with these two different coffees? What makes these two
right
coffees
here,
special?
what you're pouring right there actually is Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. And that is...
we just had enough water.
And that, perfect, that is obviously from Ethiopia. And I brought this because old folklore says that Ethiopia is where they first discovered coffee and kind of the birthplace of, you know, coffee. And we can get into that a little bit later. It's about some dancing goats and a man named Kaldi and all that stuff. But it's also a fantastic coffee. It has a very, you know, strong taste profile. It's, you know, got bright coffee that's known to be fruity and more floral, but, you know, also rich flavor, which is very nice. And the second coffee I brought was one that I think this is kind of about describes the past of coffee.
The beginnings of coffee.
Yeah, this is kind of what's going on now with coffee.
Okay.
And this
is
the
this
Honduran.
One? Honduran, okay.
And I brought that because right now the Honduran quality of coffee has gone way up, and it's Honduran coffees now. Their country spent a lot of time making the coffee taste better and the quality better. And right now, because of some rust problems there were in other countries that didn't affect Honduras as much, it's a very dominant coffee in Central America, and I think we'll be seeing a lot more of it.
Okay, so you're saying that, so you like. And I'm gonna because no, that's totally fine. I'm gonna because you're like in it, and so this is really interesting because like you're so into this, and people are like, what? I come here, I get my cup of coffee, I roll. Rust? What are you talking about? And this is so cool because so this particular coffee is a Honduran, and so different areas of Central America have been affected by what's called a coffee rust.
It's called a coffee rust, or also known as a fungus that has unfortunately spread throughout Central America. And now where this was a few years ago, so now the crops have been replanted and we're waiting for them to yield more coffee. So it's only going to get better, but right now is kind of we're seeing the worst of it as far as coffee production goes.
Yes.
But Honduras, their coffee strains were a little bit more resistant to the rust.
Because they were newer, possibly?
Maybe, yeah. And so they weren't affected as harshly as Mexico or Guatemala or other countries like that. So their production stayed very high. At the same time, their quality of coffee was really getting much better. Right. So they kind of came out on top of all this, and it's a fantastic cup.
So this is a conversation that Shelby and I would have on a normal day. This is what we do for a living.
Yes.
And so she would tell me something like that. Hey, Kevin, and I'm doing this, like so we can show everyone. But you would say, hey, Kevin, look, the Guatemalans are really, because I might say something like, whoa, these guats are not very good right now. And you say, well, they did this, that, and the other. Try the Honduran, because what I do is I'll take these different coffees and I'll mix them together and put them in a blend.
Right.
So something like when you come into St. Rock, I have my Sunrise blend brewed up from time to time. And so like in my Sunrise blend, I'm not giving away, I guess this is the actual thing. I have had Guatemalan in that blend.
Yeah.
And so now we actually have switched to putting Honduran in that blend.
Which is smart because it helps keep your price down for your consumer, which is always important, and it doesn't mess up the quality of your cup.
No, and it tastes actually better than the Guatemalan, even though the recipe calls for Guatemalan.
But that's kind of what you have to do in this industry, as you well know.
Yeah, so you've got to play. You've got to play that back and forth. So this is just so incredibly in depth. So so we're going to dive into actual cupping now.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to. Okay, so we've got this. This is the spittoon. Is this like your great grandfather's spittoon or something?
It's somebody's.
It's
somebody.
somebody.
Not mine.
It's somebody's old spittoon here. That's cool because we actually do spit because you don't like drink all the coffee because you'd be like wired by the end of the day.
Not
because,
that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, because you're I mean here we've got two separate coffees,
but we're doing usually 10 to 14 at a time.
10 to 14 at a time, and you've got like generally you have like there's a circular table that's a spinning table. But my table here at St. Rod doesn't spin, but
it'll work.
We'll make it work. So you want to
break them?
Yeah, okay, I'll break them. So this is so while I'm breaking it, you want to tell everybody about the breaking?
Yes. So basically, what Kevin is doing right now is he's breaking the coffee to see if any smells or odors come up that rise up that might help when tasting the coffee, help kind of figure out what the tastes are.
So something like. What like baggy? What other smells?
Well, it can be good smells too.
Not that I don't know this. I'm prompting you for the question.
If a coffee's fermented or baggy, which means it's been sitting in the bag too long or sat in water too long, that will come up very quickly, and you'll know kind of that what it's going to kind of taste like. And I'll break these under, and so.
Yeah, so you're.
Mix the coffee up in it.
Yeah. So you're messing the coffee up, and then as you do that, it creates this little like crema on top, which is very interesting, like an espresso or something. And then
you want to clean it off. Yeah.
Most of the coffee at this point, when you break it, the coffee was floating at the top, and then the coffee settles to the bottom.
Yes. And then at the top is what you cup, just a little spoonful. Oh yeah.
And so now you're cleaning off the crema off the top.
Yeah, so we can taste just the coffee.
Boom! I hope that mic picks up the the blank into the spittoon. I need to get a spittoon.
Yeah. Actually, I was about to take one. We have one, but it's got all of our umbrellas in it, so I didn't want to spit in our umbrella holder.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
So we clean. I'll do these. Yeah. I'm not as good as you. I've got to move the spittoon a little bit closer. Because I'm going to make a mess. All right. Yeah. You're way better at cleaning than me.
I know, it's
Well, because isn't that sort of a tradition? Like when I come cupped by y'all, generally y'all clean it for me.
Yeah, we're not going to make you clean it.
It's like whoever it's like a I don't want to say what is it
It's kind of like a hierarchy sort of thing. I actually like cleaning the coffee, so I'll do it sometimes. But because I was the youngest cupper, I always had to cup last, and I always had to clean them.
Because I know that's always kind of a funny thing. And there's all kind of other little funny things around the cupping table for what is it like? Whoever is is the one who pours the water, or like how you pour the water, or how you spin the table.
Yeah,
there's different things
in certain ways that's. Our traders, it's kind of a seniority thing, and if you're at the end, you have to do all the little grunt work. Which isn't bad though.
No, and so hopefully you'll be able to see. So this is the actual. So when we're doing coffee cupping, we're looking at both the green
roast and the green. Yes.
So that's that's that.
And that was roasted.
Coffee is raw. It's green. It comes in it's hard. It's like a popcorn. It's like an unpopped popcorn kernel.
You wouldn't want to bite it.
No, and then once it's roasted, you can crack it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's slurp and spin. I'm gonna let you do the honors first.
All right.
I'll let you. Yes. So this is how. So you're like slurping and you're spraying it.
So you're trying to. The reason you slurp it, it's not a very attractive sound, but you do it so it aerates kind of. Similar to how you would aerate a wine before you drank it, it aerates onto your tongue so you can taste all the different flavors on your tongue.
Okay.
So, you just get like a little bit like that.
This is the Honduran.
See, that's great. You're gonna like that.
Okay.
It's really acidic.
And when you say acidic,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Because people are like acidic.
Yeah, that means it's got a very bright and lively
citrusy,
flavor. Yes,
more,
kind of, but in a good. It's a
think
very
of
good
lemony,
taste profile.
Think of, And so for me, when I'm looking
it's my favorite flavor.
You like the citrus.
Yeah,
you like the
acidic.
acidic.
Yeah.
because I'm going to use that, and for me, like, and I'm just, for me, I use it in like my like morning blends. Because in my thought process, I want more of an acidic coffee to pair with bacon and eggs, or breakfast. You know, think orange juice, bright, citrus, sweet. You know, it's more
and
what I
it's
do
very
for
easy
breakfast.
to drink, and you know, it's not. It's just a good. You know, it is a great pick me up in the morning. That flavor. That's what I like to drink. A Central American. That's a very Central American taste profile. Yeah. And that's what I like to drink in the morning.
That's your morning cup. Yeah. Me too. I like that Panama I get from you.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Which, you know, by the way, if you've been watching the show here, a lot of people have like Panama. Like that's my favorite. Yeah. That's my favorite. Panama.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Panama's like. So you're probably like me, and but I'll ask you. Like, what do you have, like, a favorite coffee, like one that's like a little near and dear to your heart more so than others? It's hard because once we do this and we're doing tasting tens and tens of hundreds of coffees, a year, like we're tasting so many of them, you get to appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah.
But do you have one that's like nugs on your heartstrings a little bit?
Well, the way this is cupping right now, to me, reminds me of a Mexican when I first started out in the business. And I used to love to cup these Mexicans that were like this. They were bright and they were lively and like all this stuff. And so I've always loved, Mexico's an origin of coffee. That being said, I love Central American coffees. I love them.
So funny, my wife will like fight you for that.
Oh, really?
She hates Mexicans.
Really?
Hates Mexicans.
Well,
in fact, I do like Mexican, so I'll take Mexican and put it in a Honduran bag to take it home.
Mexican Altura is really good.
Oh, I'm with you. But look, when I got some real nice Mexican Alturas from you, I put them in a Guatemalan bag and took them home because I wanted to drink them. And she's like, and then we brew in the pot. And she's like, Kevin, I don't like these guats. They like taste like Mexican to me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! Like, there's something in Mexican coffee that she is like.
I mean, it's not for everyone. Everyone has their own opinion.
Everyone has it. That's the fun part.
My second favorite thing is you have it here is the yellow bourbon.
Oh, the yellow bourbon, which you turned me on to. If you've been here, you've had the yellow bourbon.
Somewhere to drink it.
She's like, Kevin, listen, I have this great coffee. It's phenomenal. I would like a place to drink it myself. I'd like to get it in here. Can you like buy it and brew it in St. Roch so when I come here I can get it? I'm like, absolutely.
And
the yellow bourbon's
sweet.
Kind of it's chocolatey.
Yeah, and it's a little bit acidic. Yeah, but
it's just.
But it's very nice. Why don't you try those Yerga
Okay, I'm gonna do the Yerga chefs. Oh, I got it. Like I said, I'm not as I don't. Oh, that's definitely bright.
Yeah.
For a
Yerga chef.
Is it for a Yerga chef?
It's a
Is it and
it's newer?
So Yerga chef, you want to tell them the story while I'm slurping these?
So there was a man named Palsy in the 1600s who had a flock of sheep, and his sheep, he took them up on the mountain. This is in Ethiopia. And
where this coffee.
Yeah.
In Ethiopia.
Yeah, that coffee.
1600s.
1600s.
Before even you were importing coffee.
Yeah,
your family was importing coffee.
Don't quote me on the date. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
But so his goats start eating beans. These beans off these trees, these berries off these trees. Yeah, that's great.
That's super good. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. It's
and they
awesome.
started dancing around and getting very hyper. And he was wondering what happened. And he went and looked at these beans, and then he started playing around with the beans, and they started cooking the beans and doing stuff. And that's kind of how coffee came to be, or what the folklore is, which I love.
Dancing
that
goats
is
such
a great story.
It's a great story.
So, but
and have you ever had my goat's milk here?
I have, yes.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
I actually I stop and because of course we roast coffee for coffee shops, and so I have a coffee shop that I sell to up in Folsom, Giddy Up, and we actually, while I'm up there, I go swing by this goat farm and pick up fresh goats.
When
you said
that's
goats,
all you needed was the goats to find the coffee and produce the milk.
That's it. But this is very okay. So for me, like I'm tasting this one, and I'm getting much more. And you didn't try this one. Maybe you should try it here.
Yeah.
You try this one. All right. Because, I'll put one of those over there for you. This one, while, yes, it's a very traditional Central American profile. Oh, here, sorry. This one has much, the Honduran has much more of like a chocolatey note than this one does. You know what I mean? Like there's a cocoa, there's a sweetness here that's not
in here.
But this is much more, and I'm gonna be like real hipstery here and say like there's like a very strawberry-ish brightness.
Yeah, and
So it's a fruitiness.
And floral and
floral, but it's not cherry.
This is,
it's more strawberry. It's got that bright kind of citrusy note, you know? Well, this has been like the most like fun episode of Coffee with Kevin as far as like just like straight up coffee knowledge. I think people really wanted to like, look, you're doing this cool show.
See, we also had a meeting. You might buy some of this stuff now. You might see this here.
We're totally buying. Yes, I mean this is the Honduran is definitely. I mean this coffee is perfect for Sunrise Blend. It's definitely going to go in Sunrise Blend, and we will definitely have it here brewed up. I mean there's no question about it. We'll definitely have that coffee.
Great.
The Ethiopian, we probably even should get some of this stuff too, because I don't have any. I think I have some Rwandan from you, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have any Ethiopian right now. So I probably should get.
We'll have to get you squared away.
Get me squared away on that too. Shelby, thank you so much for coming. This is so much. Like I said, I think people are going to like lose their minds for this. This is so cool.
This is really fun.
Yes.
To share what we do and what you and I do and
this is the behind the scenes stuff. People just like drudgingly come in and get their cup of coffee in the morning, and then when they see cupping, what is it? What is this? You're spinning? What?
That's what we do.
This is what we do. This is how we create the coffees that are here at St. Roch.
Yeah.
So
Well,
thanks so
for
much.
having me.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go have a cup of coffee.